All right, everybody, welcome back for another deep dive. This time we're looking at a new Indian film called Woh Bhi Din. The
Okay.
It's getting some pretty good reviews, and I thought it would be fun to take a look and see what's got everyone so excited about it.
Sounds good.
We're basing this deep dive on a review from MovieKaTicket.com.
Okay.
And what's interesting is it's billed as a romantic comedy,
Uh-huh.
but also seems to have this nostalgic feel to it,
Yeah.
and also a coming-of-age element as well.
Interesting.
So it seems like they're maybe trying to do a little bit more than just your typical rom-com.
Right. Yeah. Sometimes those can be a little predictable, so it's always nice when they add some more depth to it.
Exactly. So let's jump right into it.
Okay.
The movie follows a group of four friends.
Okay.
There's Rahul, who's played by Rohit Saraf.
Okay.
There's Joyjeet, who's played by Adarsh Gourav.
All right.
Then there's Malaika, who's nicknamed Milky, played by Sanjana Sanghi.
Mm-hmm.
And Shalini, played by Charu Bedi.
Okay. A good group of young actors.
Yeah. And just to add a little bit extra star power, they also have a cameo appearance from John Abraham.
Oh, wow.
So that should be interesting to see what he does in the film.
Yeah, I'm curious what kind of role he'll have.
Now, the review really highlighted Rohit Saraf's performance as something special.
Interesting.
They said he brings this real depth and complexity to his character, who's this young man sort of figuring out life and love and everything in between.
Yeah, I mean, casting is so crucial in these kinds of movies,
Right.
especially coming of age stories. You really need actors who can pull off those raw emotions and,
Mm.
that vulnerability. So it sounds like Seraph might be the heart of this film.
Well, and he has had quite a few good roles recently. I mean, he was in Mismatched
Yeah.
and The Sky is Pink, which were both pretty
Oh,
popular.
yeah, I've heard of those.
So yeah, he seems to be making a name for himself as this sort of romantic lead.
Right. He seems to have that kind of charm that works well for those roles.
Yeah, exactly. And speaking of setting the mood, let's talk about the music.
Oh.
The soundtrack is by Joy Barua.
Okay.
Are you familiar with his work at all?
I think I've heard the name, but I'm not super familiar.
Okay, well, the review really praised the music, saying it's very moving and soulful.
Mm-hmm.
They specifically mentioned a few tracks like Banjar, Yes Silsila, and of course the title track, Woh Bhi Din the Din.
Music can really make or break a film, especially one like this that's dealing with nostalgia.
Right.
I mean, think about it. Certain songs can instantly transport you back to a particular time or feeling.
Oh, absolutely.
Like when you hear a song from your childhood,
Right.
it can bring back all these memories and emotions.
And it sounds like they're really trying to tap into that with this film.
Yeah, and Joy Barua is known for this really soulful style, kind of blending folk elements with a modern twist. So it's probably a really fitting soundtrack for a movie like this.
Yeah, I'm really curious to check it out now.
Me too.
So the director of Woh Bhi Din is Sajid Ali,
Okay.
who's known for his ability to really capture like the rawness of relationships and everyday life.
Yeah.
And he actually co-wrote the screenplay with Saurabh Swami.
Interesting combination.
Yeah, I mean, Sajid Ali, I think he did Layla Majnu a few years back.
I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, it was, kind of a modern take on a classic love story.
Mm-hmm.
And then Saurabh Swami is known for his very witty and sharp dialogue.
Yeah. It's so fascinating how these collaborations between directors and screenwriters can really shape a film.
Oh, for sure.
Like, think about the Coen brothers.
Oh, yeah.
They have such a distinct style and vision, or Martin Scorsese and Paul Schrader.
Right.
Those partnerships really bring something special.
Absolutely. It's like the whole is greater than the sum of its parts kind of thing.
Exactly.
Now, the review also mentioned that the cinematography and pacing are really well done,
Okay.
calling them raw and relatable.
Interesting.
I'm curious, how do you think that translates visually? Like, what are some of the techniques that filmmakers use to achieve that kind of feel?
Well, I think raw and relatable in this context probably means they're moving away from that typical Bollywood extravagance.
Right.
The big song and dance numbers and the super polished look.
Yeah.
Maybe they're using more handheld cameras, natural lighting, longer takes.
Yeah.
Things that create this sense of intimacy and immediacy. Like, you're right there with the characters experiencing everything with them.
Right.
Like you see in movies like Moonlight, for example.
Oh, yeah.
With its really dreamy visuals, or Call Me By Your Name, where the camera almost feels like a fly on the wall,
Yeah.
just capturing these little moments of connection.
It sounds like they're trying to create a very authentic and intimate experience.
Exactly.
So for all of you listeners out there, if you're getting a little tired of those predictable rom-coms and you're looking for something that feels real and explores, the beauty and the messiness of growing up,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe even gives you a little dose of nostalgia, then Woh Bhi Din might be right up your alley.
Definitely sounds worth checking out.
And you can stream it right now on Z5, so no need to wait.
You know what strikes me about this whole thing is this theme of nostalgia that seems to be everywhere these days, not just in movies, but in music and fashion and just our culture in general.
Yeah,
I wonder why we're so drawn to the past.
it's a good question.
What is it about these coming-of-age stories, those glimpses into simpler times, that resonate so deeply with us?
Yeah, that's definitely something to think about.
Maybe it's a way of connecting with a part of ourselves that we feel like we've lost, or maybe it's just comforting to revisit a time when things felt less complicated.
Hmm.
Who knows? But it's definitely a powerful force.
Yeah, well, maybe Woh Bhi Din they will give us some answers.
Maybe so.
Well, on that note, I think we'll wrap up this deep dive. If you're interested in learning more about the film, you can always head over to MovieKTicket.com for their full review.
Good idea.
And if you do end up watching it, let us know what you think. We'd love to hear your take on it.
Definitely.
Till next time,